Alright, we've been making some shop progress here. We got a parts washer filled with some fluid on trying to get some things done. We've also got the sandblasting cabinet all put together and cleaned up. Right now, I am going to be working on, where is it? This. Got some barrels and a burner for propane, and I'm going to be making a hot tank. I've just gotten some small, like 16-gallon barrels, right? Just cut the top off of it, right? I'll be taking parts like the crankshaft or the block, and first I will clean it in some regular degreaser and then in some soapy water, and then once that's done, take everything outside, pressure wash it off, and then throw it in the hot tank and see what happens. So I'm adding a gallon of heavy-duty degreaser from Zepp, the citrus stuff, because it's safe for aluminum. Just giving the crank a wash down, get it cleaned up, and then I'm going to take it out, rinse it, and blow it off with some air. What I'm doing here is I'm making an air agitator out of some copper piping, just drilling a bunch of holes in it, and then I'm going to hook up an air compressor to it at a low setting, and it will produce some bubbles in the tank that will help agitate everything and make cleaning better. Regulator's turned down pretty much all the way, but I think this will do the job. Alright, well, I got the hot tank working there in the background. We're going to finish up disassembling the engine block. First thing we need to do is get these bearings out, and I referenced the video to match these up with the ones from the cradle or the girdle, so that way when everything's cleaned up I can put them back in and take some measurements to figure out if I need to figure out what size for the new bearings I need. So this is the flywheel end down here. Alright, we're going to get these oil squirters out now. Side here, and just got a couple brackets and sensor to take off. One of the legitimate sort of useful tools for a lot of things, pipe wrench. It's better than a combination wrench, and it grips better. Just taking out one of the block plugs here, so that way when we clean it, we get more stuff out. Just gotta remember to put this back in, thread sealer, and obviously we're torqued down properly. So. Probably replace this one too, but I'm sure it's fine. Another plug here on the end, on the front side, and another plug on the back side. That's 10mm Allen, or hex, depending on who you are. I'll lock that in place. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this stud out, but give it a shot. Oh, we did. We got it loose. Nice. Otherwise, it's going to make it pretty hard to fit this thing in the hot tank we made. Still bubbling away. All right. Let's get our little shop cart ready. I got tired of not having a mobile work platform, so I used some extra wood and made one. Alright, I'm just going to yank this thing out and put it on the cart. And last plug. This is a 14 Allen. Let's see if this works. Nice. Big ass plug. All right, it's been a couple hours. I did take a peek at it a little bit ago and it looked pretty good, so I'm gonna pull it out and we'll compare it to how it looked. It's very dark, but clean. All right, I mean, it looks pretty freaking clean. The surfaces where the bearings go, since those are actually steel, right? Because you can't have bearings, can't have all that pressure from the engine pushing against just raw aluminum. So they plug in this piece of steel here, and while there's some schmutz on it, it's just wiping off pretty easily. So I'm gonna let this cool down, and then we will take it back to the solvent tank and then go from there. But in the meantime, all right, in goes the block. Well, we have a small problem. Welcome back to day 2 in Adventures in Hot Tanking. So I got a trash can because it's bigger instead of this barrel back here to get the block in because it just wouldn't fit. This trash can though isn't watertight, so I JB welded the seams. Hopefully it holds. We'll find out. Probably should have sealed up the handles.
2 hours later.
Our little rig here seems to be holding up at the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this gas off. One, two, three. Hot. Alright, not perfect, but it's definitely a lot cleaner. Obviously there's going to be some rust inside the pistons because these are cast iron sleeves, but that'll get cleaned out, and also we're going to hone it, so it's not a big problem. But there's still some gunk left over, and obviously I got to remove all the seals, but I will put that in the parts washing bin. So we're going to check the flatness of the block, and the way you do that is you get a flatness gauge. All of them are pretty much, unless you pay an enormous amount of money, accurate to within about 1,000th from end to end. So make sure it's clean. We made sure the deck is clean. We're going to set that down, and then we use our flashlight, and we come across and we look to see gaps. And if we see a gap in the light, then we grab our feeler gauges. In this case, we're going to get the smallest one that's available on this, which is 0.0015 or 1.5 thousandths. And we will start there, and we will check to see if it fits. Oh, that's 2 of them. 3 of them. Oh no, so many. Okay. So here we are, 1.5 thousandths. Right? And we're going to check. Now, I'm checking this gap here. I can see light, but it's not completely all the way across. So I can't fit this in, which means it's less than this one will fit through, which is fine. So I'm just going to check them all the way across, right? And there's significant drag. All right, this one is has a little bit more height to it, but there's a lot of drag, which means it's probably somewhere less than this or right around this. The limit for a new block is 3 thousandths. So we are well within spec for a new block. So now that we've measured it across the middle, now we're going to measure it side to side here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to look for light, right? We're going to try and fit our feeler gauge across. Got a little light right here. I'm going to call this pretty flat for spec. Although this engine was in pretty bad shape. Well, not bad shape, just neglected shape. I think it'll be fun. Alright, thanks for watching. Next video will be cylinder head disassembly and inspection, as well as getting it ready to take to the machine shop. Thanks for watching. See you next time.